and welcome to UC Today. My name is Kieran Devlin and today's session will be the operational trap. Why migration is no longer a DIY job. We will be exploring the commercial risks of inaction around migration, price rises, resource drain, and how a managed service model protects partner value. I am delighted to be joined, as ever, by Will Morey, Managing Director of Channel at Gamma. Will, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure to be here as always, Kieran. Lovely to see you.
Before we explore all things migration, can you please tell us a little about yourself, Will, and your Gamma journey?
I'm Managing Director here at Gamma, have been so for the last sort of 16 months. I came in through an acquisition of my business, so now I'm in the MD role and just loving working with the Gamma channel community. And really understanding what the challenges are in the market at the moment and how we can make those challenges disappear and those opportunities come into the foreground.
Perfect. And we will be exploring how exactly some of those opportunities right here. And I thought let's kick off with the PSTN switch-off before exploring into various other forms of migration.
Yeah.
Most partners understand the technical side of the switch-off, but the operational impact is often dramatically underestimated. Why is treating this as a line-by-line task dangerous for a partner's bottom line?
I think the challenge for partners is their business is finely tuned to deliver against the demand that their sales teams are generating and their marketing teams are generating and the day-to-day sort of operational burden of supporting their customers. Typically, they haven't built in a huge amount of additional resource that's there, sitting there ready and waiting to deliver what's quite a big operational task to manage migration. So what that means is it's a massive distraction. So what we see the sort of the big challenge for partners is to be able to create that amount of resource and capability in their business to address the challenge in quite a short period of time. And that's where we believe that outsourcing that and working with a partner to deliver that can completely change the challenge, because it means that the channel partner, the MSP, the reseller can continue to focus on their core business, can continue to drive their BAU, continue adding new logos into their business, continuing delivering great support to their customers, while we can get on in the background and make sure that huge challenge of the sort of the operational complexity and operational overhead of driving migration is taken care of. And that's where we see that sort of that trap starting to emerge. Is, well, what do I do? Do I keep servicing against the demand I see in the market and the opportunity and signing up new customers? Do I lower my support levels because I've got to take engineers off or resource off that project resource, whatever it might be? And that's where we see the trap being and the opportunity being to partner up.
And I wonder if we can dig into the complexity angle a little more, because naturally that scales with the customer state. How does Gamma Edge Migrate handle the messy reality of multi-vendor environments where a partner might not even own the underlying line?
I guess the messy reality is what we always see, isn't it? It's easy talking about this stuff on the surface, and it all sounds beautifully serene and calm. How we're going to get all this stuff done. The most important aspect of what we do is the analysis, is the upfront. It's not particularly glamorous or particularly exciting, but the very first thing we do is probably the most important thing we do, and that is a really detailed analysis of each and every customer, what environment they're operating in, what underlying technology they have, and working through all of that ahead of the conversation to then come back with a really solid plan and saying, well, this section of your customer base we're going to take in this direction, this section of your customer base we're going to take in this direction, and this section of your customer base actually we want to talk to you about because we think there's a very distinct and unique challenge there that we need to work on together to work out how we can deliver the best outcome for that customer, but also critically the best commercial outcome for that reseller, because there's huge amounts of money tied up in all of these challenges, because typically this area of a reseller's business is operating profitably. It doesn't generate a huge support overhead. It's sitting there in the background and adding GP each and every month without us thinking about it too much. So our mindset is on how we can help the partner protect that and also make sure that they can deliver the right migration journey for the end user. So what they end up with at the end of this is a happy customer on next-gen technology, not someone who feels that they're stuck on an island of legacy and all the inherent problems that would be. And that then seeks to address all of that messy reality of multi-vendor and different compliance and regulatory environments and all of those different things that might then come into play.
And when you're having these conversations with the customers, well, what do you tend to see as the key drivers you're seeing as most people are undergoing these migrations, whether that is because of the PSTN switch-off, or it could a broader, more general UC, or even on the connectivity side of things?
I think different use cases in each one. Clearly now people are very focused on the timeline that's driving PSTN. Driving that timeline further are clearly price increases that are going to bring a greater sense of urgency. And that's obviously what they're designed to do. So, firstly, that is the key driver. They want to make sure, their partners want to make sure those three things. Are they commercially protected? Can they continue to engage that customer in a way that is commercially important for them? Secondly, can they deliver the service that the customer needs so that the customer continues to get what they need from the service that they're contracted to deliver? Are we in a place to make sure that we're going to be doing that in a compliant way? Is the customer still going to be able to make an emergency call when they need to be able to make an emergency call? Are critical aspects of that customer's infrastructure still going to work? Is there going to be something there? So those are the things that are typically driving that PSTN conversation and how we'll engage there. And then what we're seeing on UC increasingly is customers are starting to assess the market and think, what's the long-term bet I want to place? I'm selecting somebody now to work with for my new business, and typically the selection criteria is based around, well, what is the feature capability of the technology stack I'm buying into? What are they spending on R&D? How am I going to meaningfully move my customers forward by aligning them with this technology vendor? Because in reality, we all know that an end user organization, and to some extent a reseller, will only be able to move their technology stack forward at the same pace as the vendor they choose. Now, that pace is typically in the subscription economy that we all exist in, based on how much R&D they're spending. They're spending 400 million a year on R&D, like, I don't know, that's a guess. So for any sticklers on the numbers out there, that's me guessing at what Cisco might or might not be spending on WebEx. And that's going to be a fairly rapid velocity of technology, especially with the increasing sort of cybersecurity threats that you have to keep up with, the AI demand that you've got to keep. All of these different things are just consuming R&D budget, and you want to be able to move forward at a rapid velocity. Now, if you've got someone who's maybe more of a niche vendor, clearly, and they're only spending maybe 2, 3, 4 million a year, they're going to really struggle to keep up. So you've got that sort of decision taking place. I'm aligning my technology stack. Then once you made that decision and you're thinking about your new business in that way, very quickly people go, well, what about my installed base? I actually want to keep that installed base. I've got all of these people. They're on a technology that maybe I don't want to sell, and maybe that's because they're not keeping up with the R&D. Maybe they can see in today's the kind of chaos in the geopolitical world, interest rates going up. They think that vendor's highly leveraged, and they're thinking, do I really want to be placing all of my chips on that bet in today's world when they've got a huge debt pile to service, where maybe that money would have historically gone to R&D or people to drive support and performance. So they're then coming to us and saying, well, actually, we want to move that away. And maybe some of that base as well is regulatory risk, or there's something from a compliance perspective. We follow the same process, and we help them analyze that, understand it, and we say, well, this is the speed at which I'd move these different sections of your customer base. And that's the kind of decision-making criteria we're getting. People are looking at the risk of staying on a legacy technology, and we're seeing more and more sort of legacy UCaaS vendors out there rather than sort of next-gen UCaaS vendors. And they're saying, okay, I know my customers are going to be able to want to leverage AI. They're going to want the security protection. They're going to want the advanced features and capability we've got. All of these different things are playing into it. So that then drives a migration conversation to say, let's just move that across wholesale and get it done in a single movement. And then lastly, in the kind of connectivity space, we're increasingly having conversations where people want to consolidate their whole base with us and say, new business and historic, we're going to move that across and we want you to deliver that. And that's where we can again deliver those migration services where we can go in, we can analyze, we can understand, and we've now got the tools and the capability to be able to do a wholesale move of a base and drive that. That's probably increasingly cost driven and service driven as it always has been. But the whole migrate pillar to the Gamma Edge program that we've delivered is just come about because of these conversations and because of partners consistently coming to us and saying, we want to move customer A from legacy technology to next gen technology. Can you help us? And that's something that comes up each and every day of the week now. And we've got this really well executed program that we can engage, we can analyze, we can understand, and then we can recommend and build a joint and collaborative plan with a partner to execute on it.
Terrific. And another, I guess, a natural part of those conversations you're having with partners is that, I guess, quite natural fear of losing control of the customer experience during the migration process. How does Gamma take responsibility for the delivery while ensuring the partner remains the face of the relationship?
Yeah, the partner is the only face of the relationship. We're there as a white labelled provider to add support and capacity to what the partner's doing, and we take that very seriously. We've got great experience working with some really large companies. We work with Clear Business where they've outsourced significant sections of their customer delivery to us. We've got a variety of other large customers where we actually run elements of their back office or their customer facing delivery. And through that, we've very quickly come to understanding how that partner wants to deliver the customer experience, how they want to deliver the kind of the engagement and the journey is critical to us retaining that business with that partner. So we put that at the forefront of every discussion. But as I said, everything starts with analyze and understand. And that analyze and understand component is as much about engagement and customer experience as it is about the straight subscriber base analysis or whatever it might be. But no, we're crystal clear that the customer is the face of this. We're the supporting act in the background, there to make the customer, the reseller, look great and have the access to the additional capacity they need to. The one message that I always tend to focus in on is grow your business faster, because in today's world we can't do everything and we can't be everything. Sadly, we haven't all got resource and people able to sit around waiting for something to pop up, and being able to handle that sort of burst of activity by having a great partnership with somebody like Gamma, we believe adds huge value.
Well, you're doing my job for me, Will, because that was a very elegant segue to my final question before I let you go, which is, if you could give one piece of advice to a partner currently trying to manage a migration with their existing internal resources, what would it be?
I think it's back to the message I've been kind of talking about throughout, really. It's analyze and understand. The work you do at the front of this pays dividends 10, 20, 100-fold at the end of the project. And that's why we put so much focus on really analysing and understanding the detail of the customer base, understanding exactly what each and every customer journey is, how we can group together customers to get some automation and get some process in place. But it's that analysing and understanding and very, very clear objectives at the end of the project. So I'd say double down on that, and don't be afraid to partner, even if it's just on that bit. Even if it's just conversations with our team to say, how would you go about this? How are you managing these kind of challenges? And we're absolutely up for talking about that, because we operate in a community of partners. We're very lucky that we've got a huge number of partners who we talk to each and every day of the week, be it on a support issue or provisioning or a sales conversation. And we love to be able to have those conversations because it helps us understand better what are the challenges a partner's facing, what are the opportunities that are showing up, and how can we play a meaningful role in helping them grow their business faster.
Terrific. Well, I think that's a very inspiring note in which to end today's conversation. So thank you, Will, as ever, for your time and being here today.
Absolute pleasure. Lovely to see you, and look forward to catching up soon.
And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share on social media, and we'll see you next time. I've been Kieran Devlin, UC Today. Thanks for watching.